They clearly won the console war. Good job, PlayStation. But now we're entering in an entirely different kind of landscape for video games. And I just, like I know a lot of people don't like me saying that, but it's going to be one of those. That's why I think I tweeted out like hashtag Ginger Prime was right again. It's like, because at some point, like, it's like, yeah, you call me whatever names you want, but this is something that continues to prove itself out. And I think
I
it's a function of time.
I think a few years ago, I probably, and I say a few, but it's probably like 10 years ago. I probably been like, "That's insane. There's no way." But if we just look at just the way Microsoft has been headed as an entire corporation,
Yeah.
they'll still produce Xbox hardware, but you're right. It'll just be a PC, maybe pared down. I would like to see it retain that ease of access console experience where
Mhm.
when
Yeah.
you load up a game,
Yes.
you're not having to go configure settings. It's going to
Right.
be set for you.
That's what
Keep
people
that
want. They want
keep that
that ease of
mentality.
access. Yeah.
Right. So keep that mentality, but then you have, just like Microsoft makes Surface tablets and laptops, you'll have them make Xbox consoles and they will just run Steam and Epic Games and whatever else. And then, you finally get stuff that would never be on Xbox right now for whatever reason, but stuff like Genshin Impact,
Yeah.
that's a huge game. It could run on the Xbox right now. Just,
Easy.
you're just limited by the licensing on the hardware. Whereas if
Yeah.
Microsoft just goes, "Hey, it's a PC now," without all of the PC bells and whistles, then there's nothing that would stop them from doing that.
It's the ease of access, which is going to be a critical component of what defines a console. Because PC gaming is going to be PC gaming, and
Hmm.
you can tweak it in your drivers and all of that. What I think is that we see that that licensing of the operating system and the interface, so that things like the Rogue Ally, all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're just going to take on that interface, and it's just going to work. You got your store, your games, your friends list, your like, it's just
Yep.
going to be. And then I could see other manufacturers coming in, and so you end up having various different SKUs where, like, okay, this is the Xbox version, the Surface kind of team has made this.
Mhm.
Dell decided that they wanted to go ahead and make their own version of that, and they're going to put in some real, like, you can, then as a player, if you don't have the internet or you don't want the cloud, you can buy the hardware that's going to process that.
Right.
Yeah.
And and I could probably see them adding in that, like, boot to Xbox UI for Windows, so that if you just had one to, like, say, I'm just gonna build my own PC and I'm just gonna do that, I could see them doing that as well. So
And then you get some other like benefits from that as well, where like there's 360 games that are only on Xbox hardware,
Mhm.
that are backwards compatible. Well, now they could run on this PC OS, no problem. And so then you have PC players now able to access an entire library of games that most of these have been ported in some way, but
mhm.
there's still a few exclusives there. And I think Microsoft, their whole goal is how many people can play games all at the same time.
Right.
Like we want the maximum number of players subscribing to our services and using our software.
Yeah.
Speaking of statistics, we've seen news this week about Helldivers 2 and PlayStation pulling in and making it, forcing account linking to the PlayStation Network. I do think, and I think Chili tweeting out about this. I do think that that means we're going to see the rumored PlayStation storefront on PC
Yeah.
coming into play. I don't know if that
Mhm.
means they're going to pull off of Steam, but also back to my thing about Xbox is like, well, if they have it run on Windows, there's nothing to say you can't have your PlayStation Store,
Right.
launcher on, your
We
Xbox. Go ahead.
didn't we see EA do this when they launched Origin? They pulled all
Yeah.
their stuff off Steam, and now look,
Yeah.
EA games are back on Steam. So
It wasn't a good move. Like,
It
I
was a
think
mistake.
I think what you do is you just keep it everywhere.
mhm.
But then, yes, if you don't want to pay the Steam fee and people want to just go buy through the PlayStation PC store, like, it's just dealer's choice, right? Like, you're just
Yeah.
like, I'm
Yeah.
going to sit here and I'm going to play it here. But then if you pull from those different platforms, I don't think you get that goodwill to where someone's like, oh, okay, like, I'm, because people like being in the Steam ecosystem, or I would assume there are people out there who are real epic, store, ecosystems, but
Yeah.
limiting those kind of games across the different
Well,
systems, I think limits,
I think digital
everything.
libraries just kind of keep people where they are, right? I
Right.
mean, one of
Yep.
the reasons
Yeah.
I buy an Xbox every time they come out is because since the 360 and all the backwards compatibility and everything that goes with that, I can still access like most of my digital library.